Before I start talking, I do want to preface. Yeah, I know, I didn't upload or hold up to my promises with the what was it called, motivation week thing. Long story short, I just picked like the busiest week ever to do it, but that's besides the point. So I did want to make this video, as you saw by the title, like it's different from my usual stuff, but you guys don't know this, but I'm actually like really into Warhammer 40,000, right? If any of you are into Warhammer 40,000, then you know what I'm talking about. If you guys, a lot of people have probably like heard of it, but they don't necessarily like know what it is. But if you don't know what it is, I'm not gonna spend the time explaining right here, right now, because it would take way too long. But you can probably find some videos or a wiki. But so the gist of it is it's a tabletop board game. It's a tabletop war game where you build and paint your own minis, basically to represent soldiers. And so I was into the lore and the story for a while, and then I decided to finally take the leap and actually buy some of the models. And so I actually painted these all over right after Christmas, because that's when I got them. So it's been a while, and I do actually have some that I'm building and painting right now, which I'm planning on making a video on. But so these are them. These are just standard Primaris Intercessors. I'll throw a picture of the box up on screen. Right, so they are painted like Iron Hands, which are my favorite Space Marine chapter. And so I just, thought it would be really cool to buy and paint some of these really cool miniatures, because I had always seen videos of people doing them, and I always wanted to do it, but I just, didn't know if I had the confidence to, or, so I just ended up, like I said, just taking the leap, and like, if I want to get good at this, then I have to start doing it somehow. So, this guy is actually the first one that I had built and painted at all. So I did watch a few videos on how to paint them with the specific paint scheme. So they have black armor, silver highlights, iron hands, obviously. Wait, let me see if I can get the focus. See, his hand is silver color. I did try to do like what's called an edge highlight here, but messed up. So these aren't painted the best. This one was my first one, so it especially isn't painted good. Like, if you see the details on the side of his shoulder, they aren't painted in at all. There are some little details on the back that are painted silver, but so this was just really my first intro into it. I nearly glued my fingers together, building him and everything, but I think he turned out good. I did use the Iron Hands upgrade kit, upgrade sprue, so this arm is actually from that. Same with this shoulder, and so yeah, this was my first one. Like, as you can tell, it's not really all that good, I will spend less time on the other ones, so I don't know exactly the order after that, but I guess I'll just go from right to left. So then we have this guy. I decided it would be funny if I got one guy just carrying a bunch of guns. So he has a bolter here, he has a bolt pistol, and a bolter there. This one was a little bit, oh, and he also has a gun holster right there, so he has 2 bolt pistols. So this one is a bit better. I had painted multiple models by this point. I did watch some YouTube tutorials for a while, so I knew the basics, like to thin your paints and everything, and prime your models, and I avoided most of the early beginner mistakes, but a lot of it just comes with practice. This guy was, he's one of the ones with one of the open, pretty much kind of open face, heads. This is also from the Iron Hands upgrade sprue, same with this one, and that shoulder also. He's nearly one of the last models I had painted out of the set. I do really like that head, though, with the wire and the mechanical eye. Here's another one right here. I'll just kind of give you a good once-over. I did basically kind of change up the detail that I was painting. It's like the little balls on near his ankles are painted in. So they look different. But, yeah. And then we have this guy. This guy was the first one I had painted with, like, an open face, I guess you could say. The paint set I got didn't have that many great paints. So his knife holster looks like it's barely painted. But he has a knife. Got his bolter in his arm. This head is also from the Iron Hands upgrade sprue. This guy. They're all pretty varying on the skill level. This one actually I used a wash for. So you can tell his legs are a bit grimier, dirtier. See if I can get him in some better light, you know. I think he's one of the only ones I used a wash on. Got this guy doing better. I applied more of the different little greeblies, little tiny details. This little dial here is from the Iron Hands upgrade sprue. And then another one right here. He just has a bolt pistol. I think I might have used the wrong head for him. One of the helmets that are supposed to go on the waist if you're using one without a head without a helmet. But it's fine. He still works. This one's one of my better ones. And then we have this first one again. And then we have this guy who's reloading his weapon. I did put a purity seal down here. And this little dial. I didn't want to really bother with using transfer sheets and all that. Again, those of you who have heard of or have painted Warhammer know what I'm talking about, but you guys that have seen my previous content probably don't. Here we have, this is the last one I had painted. So I like comparing both of these because this guy has a lot more detail painted onto him. He's painted a lot better. I think I used more of the better parts for him too. This is a really cool arm from the Iron Hands upgrade sprue. Same with this. No. That came with the normal box, but this is also a shoulder from the Iron Hands upgrade sprue. Got a purity seal on the back. Another one of the Iron Hands dials. I had really dialed in my focus and my energy when painting this guy, and I had used all of the skills I had learned. So he's still not perfect, but I mean, I would be proud to field this miniature in a game of 40k, which, let's also talk about that. I live in a small town. There are no actual Games Workshop stores, physical stores, in my area. The closest one is actually a 4-hour drive. So I don't really have anywhere good to play a game of Warhammer, so I probably won't actually play a game of Warhammer, even just a small one, until I've amassed a considerable army and actually go to some sort of event that might get set up, or find a way to play. But I just thought it was cool if I showed you guys something I'm passionate about, and I want to make more videos on. Like I said, I do have a box of Terminators that I had actually just received today. So I'll throw a picture of that up on screen also. But yeah, if you want to know more about Warhammer, there's a sea of content just explaining the basics. If you want to know more about the tabletop game, again, there's just a sea of content explaining all the basics of Warhammer 40,000. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna try and make more videos, especially when I actually have a summer job, so I'll be able to make more money and therefore buy more miniatures and more paint. So I'll probably be able to make these videos semi-regularly. Depends on how busy I am with other things outside of building and painting Warhammer. But I'll just try and keep it spiced up with maybe some other small tidbits of content. But thank you for watching for the first time in a long time. Bye bye.